Hello and thanks for joining us. This is the Signature TV 30 minutes. I am Nwabweze Njoku. In the headlines, Northern groups demand rescue of kidnapped students of Government Science Secondary School, Kankara in Katsina State. Persons living with disabilities in the Niger Delta protest at the National Assembly complex. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano condemns the killing of a motorcycle operator by the police. Now, for the details. The coalition of northern groups has demanded the immediate rescue of the abducted students of the Government Science Secondary School, Kankara in Katsina State. They, however, shelved their plan to protest in Daura to register their concerns with President Muhammadu Buhari. President Buhari is in town on a week-long visit. The national coordinator of the coalition, Balarabe Rufai, explained that instead the coalition will use the occasion to launch the Bring Back Our Boys struggle that will go on ceaselessly until all the abducted children are returned alive. Speaking at a press conference in Katsina, the Katsina state capital, the group described the abduction of the 333 children as a total weakness of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration and his failure to protect the lives of Nigerians. Insecurity is a major challenge in Nigeria, as kidnapping is on the increase in many parts of the country. Now, on Friday, the 11th of December 2020, over 300 schoolboys were abducted by unidentified armed militants in Kankara, Katsina State. However, the Minister of Defense, Bashir Magashi, on Sunday, following the abduction of those boys, assured Nigerians that all the missing schoolboys will be rescued in a matter of time. As Nigerians wait for the minister to deliver on his promise, Signature TV correspondent Obi Chibweze went to the streets of Abuja to get the people's reaction.
If they promise us to bring the children back, means they know where they are. What of they bring back our girls over 5 years ago or 7, more than that? We have not heard about them. If it is them that hide them, let them bring it for where they are. But if they can be able to bring this one they have just took of recent, we expect all those ones that will be took for long.
Adopted, not one, not two, we are talking of hundreds of persons. So it has to take intelligence, it has to take underground work for these things to be properly done. So let's be patient with them.
Government always promise and they fail. It's not up to 10% of their promise that they fulfill.
We are surprised. How can school children be adopted on several bases? We have had many stories about children being adopted in the school. Does it mean that they don't want children to go to school again? This is a wake-up call to our president and our leaders. They should do everything in their power to make sure that these children are being released.
Which minister said they would return them. Somebody when children is there cannot rely on them. Okay. You will do something to see that you can get your Pekin. Right. You understand?
A number of people living with disabilities from the Niger Delta region on Thursday stormed the National Assembly complex in Abuja to protest neglect by the federal lawmakers representing them in the federal legislature. The aggrieved protesters, under the banner of Great Minds Foundation of people living with deformities in the Niger Delta, forced themselves into the assembly complex. Despite resistance by security operatives at the gate. Now, the spokesperson of the group, Amos Etim, said they arrived at the National Assembly from various states of the Niger Delta to demand their rights from their representatives. The deputy whip of the Senate, Senator Aliyu Sabi, who led other lawmakers to meet with the protesters, appealed for calm and said their grievances will be addressed. Senator Sabi asked the protesters to delegate a 5-man team to meet with the National Assembly leadership. A member of the House of Representatives, Sam Onibo, has dumped the People's Democratic Party, PDP, for the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC. The lawmaker, who represents Ikwano Umuahia Federal Constituency of Abia State, made his defection known in a letter read by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, on Thursday. The lawmaker cited division and crisis in his local government chapter of the People's Democratic Party. Meanwhile, the minority leader, Ndude Elumelu, kicked against his colleague's action and urged the Speaker to declare his seat vacant, a request which was not granted. Onibo's defection comes as the third consecutive defection on the floor of the House since Tuesday. A total of 3 lawmakers defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress since the beginning of the week. Onibo's defection makes it the 4th. Anambra State Governor Willie Obiano has condemned the killing of a motorcycle operator allegedly by the police at Igboku in Agwata local government area of the state, calling for calm. The incident had sparked anger in the area, leading to the burning down of Igboku police station. Willie Obiano, who spoke on the state broadcasting television on Thursday, said that the burning down of police stations, vehicles, and destruction of property cannot solve the problem. He disclosed that the policeman responsible for the shooting at Igboku had been taken into custody, stressing that the state government would assist the family of the deceased by providing them with necessary emotional and financial support. Meanwhile, the State Police Command has explained that the tragic incident was a result of accidental discharge when the police were trying to enforce the ban on the movement of motorcycles after 9 p.m. The first Pro-Chancellor of Alex Ekwueme Federal University, Ebonyi State, Engineer Anayo Bedford Onwebu, has bagged an honorary doctorate degree for his contribution to the development of the institution. The Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Chinedum Nwajuba, made this known during the 2025th and special convocation ceremony of the university, where Barrister Onwebu was conferred with an honorary doctorate degree. Signature TV's correspondent Michael Ilediago now reports.
Engineer Anayo Bedford Onwebu has been commended for his exemplary leadership, humility, and development of the Alex Ekwueme Federal University, Ndufa Alike Funai in Ebonyi State. The Vice Chancellor of the university, Professor Chinedum Nwajuba, made the commendation during the 2025th and special convocation ceremony of the LFNI, where Chief Onwebu was conferred with honorary doctorate degree. Professor Nwajuba noted that Engineer Anayo Onwebu has remained pivotal to development of the institution, having served as the first Pro-Chancellor of the institution.
You are exemplary in followership. People talk about crisis of leadership or the crisis of followership in Nigeria. Well, you have been very good followers. Recommended that the governing council, in line with the tradition of the university, approved the conference of modern doctorate degrees in business administration on engineer Anayo Onwebu. Ahmadu University recognizes integrity and excellence, and that informed the choice of this awardees. Character in entrepreneurship is the theme of this session. And that is also what we have listened to today. Because we need to raise models, genuine models and heroes for the younger generation to copy. And that is what we have found in Badmos, in Jinonwebu, and Sankorafo.
The Honorable Member representing Oji River Local Government in Enugu State House of Assembly, Honorable Jeff Mba, and the traditional ruler of Ibagwanike, Igwe Emmanuel Ugu, said, the F9 recognition of Engineer Onwebu is well deserved.
He is the first pro-chancellor of this university, chairman of the council. And during his tenure, the university moved from the infancy to what I might call the adult age. But what he did in the university, you can't compare with what he has done to the society. It's just the beginning. I mean, if you compare to what he has done to his community, what he has done to the people of Oji River, Enugu State, the church, the community, and so many other institutions like that, you will just say that this is an honor well deserved.
A good turn deserves another. He has done much in AE and as a then Pro-Chancellor, he executed a lot of projects here, not to be numbered. And I thank God that today, that AE respectively honored him.
Speaking after receiving the award, Chief Onwebu said, the honor is one of his happiest moments in life.
Today happens a remarkable day when in my own lifetime a university had the singular honor of calling me up and reminding me that maybe one or two acts of my life is worthy of emulation.
At a reception after the convocation, Chief Bazuagu Nweke Bazuagu pointed out that the character of Anayo Onwebu is worthy of emulation.
When somebody is outstanding to show humility and support, for the remaining days of this day will not come. For the remaining days of this day will not share tears of sorrow. For the remaining days of this day will not die. Nobody of yours will die. You will live and testify the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living.
Among the dignitaries that attended the ceremony was the governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. From Abakaliki, Michael Ilediago, reporting for the Signature Show.
The Lagos State government has directed public and private schools in the state to vacate on Friday, December the 18th. Now, the Director General, Office of Education Quality Assurance, Ministry of Education, Abiola Seriki Ayeni, who made the announcement in a statement, said the 2020-2021 first-term academic session for public and private schools comes to an end on Friday, the 18th December 2020. Schools are to resume on January the 4th, 2021, while boarding school students are to resume on Sunday, the 3rd of January 2021. Parents have been advised to ensure strict adherence to COVID-19 safety protocols at home, while all school proprietors and school administrators are enjoined to also ensure compliance to COVID-19 safety protocols when schools resume for second term on Monday, the 4th of January 2021. The Niger State government has directed all civil servants to stay at home from December the 21st, 2020. This is to avert the second wave of the coronavirus pandemic following the increased number of cases in recent times. The government's directive was contained in a statement signed by the head of service, Salamatu Abubakar, on Thursday. Now, according to the statement, the workers are to stay at home until further notice. The directive, however, excludes workers on essential services. And now some business stories. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has so far released 12.55 billion naira to support the small, medium and large-scale poultry farmers. The Central Bank of Nigeria explained that this gesture was part of its strategy to boost egg and meat production, as well as to create more jobs for Nigerians. CBN Director, Development Finance Department, Yila Yusuf, in a statement on Wednesday, said the disbursement of funds to farmers was an ongoing process as more farmers are being shortlisted for the loans. According to him, between the last quarter of 2019 and November 2020, farmers in the poultry value chain have received a total of 12,555 million naira from various commercial banks and microfinance banks. Now, the disbursement of the funds was in response to the request made by some stakeholders under the umbrella of the Poultry Association of Nigeria, PAN, calling on the federal government to intervene in the sector to mitigate the losses occasioned by the restriction of movement of goods and services amidst the spread of the coronavirus pandemic and the attendant lockdown. The ban on the importation of rice, poultry and other products remains in force, even though President Muhammadu Buhari has ordered the reopening of the country's borders. Now, this was confirmed by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. Ahmed was speaking to State House correspondents after Wednesday's Federal Executive Council meeting, presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. President Buhari joined virtually from his hometown Dara, Katsina State. Now, Ahmed said the ban on the importation of rice, poultry and other banned products still subsists and will be enforced by the Border Patrol team. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Niyi Adebayo, also added that the problem of smuggling will now be effectively tackled after this ban. He further revealed that the issue of smuggling of rice into this country has reduced drastically. And now for the stock market report for this Thursday. Trading on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Thursday recorded an increase in market capitalization as the bulls dominated the market. There were 40 gainers against 16 losers at the close of trading. The market capitalization rose from 18.56 trillion naira recorded on Wednesday to 18.95 trillion, a 390.1 billion naira rise. 343.64 million shares exchanged hands in a total deal of 3,895. The value of stocks traded rose from 2.29 billion naira as at Wednesday to 4.35 billion naira. This was a 90.17% increase. The all-share index also rose to 36,239.62 from 35,493.15, a 2.1% rise. Now, Zenith Bank traded the highest number of shares, which is valued at 388.72 million naira in 373 deals. Airtel Africa PLC stood on top of the gainers chart. Its price per share rose to 774.4 naira from 704 traded on Wednesday, a 10% gain on the share price. Now, on the loser side, Omatech Ventures PLC was on top, with the share price falling to 20 kobo from 22 kobo that was traded on Wednesday. Well, that's the stock market report. And on the foreign scene, French President Emmanuel Macron has gone into a 1-week isolation after he tested positive for COVID-19 on Thursday. The French president is one of several heads of state and government around the world who have contacted coronavirus, including British Prime Minister Boris Johnson and US President Donald Trump. France earlier this week eased restrictions imposed to battle the second wave of the coronavirus, but infection rates remain high. There is still a nationwide overnight curfew from 8 p.m. to halt the spread of the virus, while restaurants and cafes as well as theaters and cinemas remain closed. Over 59,300 people have died in France of coronavirus since the start of the pandemic, according to official figures. The recording of over 17,000 new cases on Wednesday alone has also generated concern as people shop and travel more intensely ahead of the Christmas holidays. Like other EU states, France is pinning its hopes on a vaccine to quell the virus, and Prime Minister Jean Castex said on Wednesday the country will receive around 1.16 million COVID-19 vaccine doses by the year end. And now in sports, Kylian Mbappe scored a penalty as Paris Saint-Germain cruised to a 2-0 win over 10-man Lorient on Wednesday, keeping the reigning champions just 1 point behind Lille ahead of their visit to the leaders this weekend. Lyon dropped to 3rd place, a point behind Paris Saint-Germain after a dramatic 2-2 draw with Brest. Marseille, who have 2 games in hand on the top 3, slipped 5 points behind the leaders after a 2-1 defeat at Rennes. PSG coach Thomas Tuchel after the game said that Neymar, who sprained his ankle last Sunday against Lyon, could return at the weekend. Now, please do well to stay safe. Maintain physical and social distance and wear your face masks while going about your daily activities. Now that's the Signature TV 30 Minutes. On behalf of my producer, Damilola Abudu and Wabozi Njoko. Thank you for watching. Good evening.